So yeah, start with the box somewhere here. Very little height. No, not a problem. Just very little thickness. There is a modifier. Now I've used the modifier to get the segments here, but there's a modifier called Edit Poly, which does the same thing as what we do when we right click and convert Edit Poly, except this one has got lesser options. So unless I need the box, I wouldn't use this. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to destroy the box, as in if I go right click, convert to editable poly. Now this is an editable polygon. So the shield that we want, I'm going to move these vertices a bit upwards, just so that I get a uniform thickness. You see, something a bit upwards. Or I'll just take all of these segments here and scale them uniformly. Helps the shading as well. Okay, now I'm going to take all of these polygons inside and I'll keep crossing on. So whatever I cross, I'm going to start from here. Oops, come to the select option. So I've selected, and it has selected the front and the back. You see both of them. There is an option here called ignore back facing. If you, for some reason, and many times you don't want the back faces, you can say ignore back facing. So any of the polygons which are facing the back, they will not get selected. And this time I chose the crossing was on, that means whatever is crossed. What I will do to this guy is I will bevel him inwards. So I'm just going to bevel him. I will right click in this window and I'm just going to bevel him, see, inwards. Yeah, something like that. Sorry?
I think you need to reselect it because it's selected both sides.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm happy with it beveling, because you know what? I can always move it this way, move it this way, and I can play with it. But yeah, if you don't want the back, cool. Let's go to polygon. Let's click ignore back facing, and I meant to bevel both, but that's okay. I will go back to select, crossing, take all of this and just do the front. Bevel. So right click here, that much bevel, and I just want it to go inwards with a very slight tilt, bit more inwards. Yeah, bit more slight tilt. Okay. Oh no, what did I do? Bevel, I forgot to click the tick. You see, when you select your bevel option, you need to bevel. And what happened to my polygon? Select. Yeah, so I'm going to come here and you need to select this tick. That's a new one. So selected the tick. Hopefully I can see the bevel now. So can you see that? Now it doesn't look much like a shield right now, but it's happening. Okay, and I know it will bend. Cool. Selected polygons. Now this one is important. You see how that shape was there? We had a shape, different shapes. Bottom. I'm going to first align this object to the middle. I'm going to say x0, y0, z0. I'm just aligning him to the middle. Okay. And I did a mistake here. I should have had one point in the middle, but that's okay. I'm going to take these 2 points in the middle. Now when I move it down, you see only the 2 points move. I want the others to move, but slowly. So we have an option called soft selection. Use soft selection. And do you see the color? This color is the influence. So when I move the red objects, these others will also move, and that is the amount of influence that will be cast on them. See that? So now if I move these 2 points, the others will also move. Cool? So I'm getting my shield shape. I'm going to leave one. I should have actually moved it with the bevel because I don't want to destroy that bevel there. So I'm going to move it with the bevel. That's cool. I'm going to take these 2 points here, or these 4 points, move them a bit on top or bottom, just to get my curve nice and right. Here I'm going to take 1, 2, 3. So let me take these 2 and 1, 2, and I press Control and select these 2. Okay. Back facing, I'm going to reduce the influence slightly. See that? That's all I want. Just a bit of a dip. See that? My shield. And finally, my bend. I know it is going to be in the X because I tried it before. And see that? Cool? That's the model. But there are very important things before I wrap it up. And this will help us in the mapping. So I'm going to make another object just to show you something. So I've just made a sphere there. I'm just going to move it in front. So that's my sphere. I'm going to convert it to an editable poly. And I'm going to select some polygons. You can see by default the sphere is shaded round. You don't, although you know that it is made of several flat polygons, the appearance is round because the shading algorithms say that if these 2 vertices are fused, I must continue the shading. But sometimes, like the edge of a blade, we want the shading to break because we want the edge sharp. So we don't want the shading continuous all the time. And you can see, because the shading is continuous, you can see some of the cracks in the shading here in the shield. Now what happens is, suppose I select some polygons. Let's say I select these polygons. Okay? If I detach them and put them back, they will have a separate entity and the shading will break. But I can do one thing. I can go down here and I can say set ID 1. So they belong to ID 1. Actually, bad move. I'm going to select everything, set everything to ID 1. I might have missed a few on the side. And then I'm going to select these few and set them to ID 2. We saw the use of IDs in multi sub object, that each ID can be given a different shading. I'm just going to pick up ID 2, select it, and I'm going to give it, you see the smoothing group? I'll say, hey, this belongs to a different group. Yep. Select ID 1 and 1 belongs to a different group. Cool. Can you see how the shading is broken? So the key is to assign smoothing groups. And I just wanted to explain that before I started assigning it to my object. Now in my object, I still have my modifier, the bend, which I'm going to kill just for a moment. So I can select my polygons. So let's say all of these polygons, just gonna clear all first of all. So I'm going to select all the polygons and assign them to smoothing group 1. Okay, then this face here, and I'm this time going to use not crossing but select. So whatever is enclosed, so only that is enclosed. I've got ignore back facing on, so I'm going to turn my back facing off, because of which I haven't been able to select everything. Turn it off. So you see this front face now? Yep. So front face is now does not belong to smoothing group 1, it belongs to smoothing group 2. Okay, cool. Then all of these faces, the side faces, okay, all of these side faces and the inside faces, you see that the side faces and the inside faces which are flat, that will belong to smoothing group 3. Okay, and then the back faces just going to come to my select option and go to the whole thing. So whatever is enclosed, just the back face, and I'm just going to check here that the back face is selected. Yep, and the back faces belong to smoothing group 4. Okay, so if I go select by smoothing group 1, that's 1, select by smoothing group 2, that's 2, select by smoothing group 3, that's 3, the flat ones select by smoothing group 4. I need to unselect 3. Now would you agree, Mitch, that each of these different parts will have a different material texture? I'm going to open it up, which is what I was trying to show Jesse last time, but it didn't work. There are several ways to do unwrap. Over the years, some people have used polygon, some people have used peel. I used smoothing group many years ago and I tried it. I still find it an easier way for me, but if you look up tutorials